Alright, your buddy Llama is back, and as always, first thing I like to do is make sure my Twitch app is up so I can make sure my audio is decent and have no complaints. We're continuing on with the Rogue Company and talking about their rogues and getting first impressions on some of the ones that I've played or some of the ones I've played against. And right now we're going to do Scorch. And again, before we get into it, I'm going to just show you guys what I've been doing. I have kind of my fan favorites right now, depending on who I play with, what we're playing. I have actually had about 25 minutes currently right now with Scorch, and I'll tell you why. Oh my goodness. Damage-wise, I actually wanted to take a peek on it. Scorch is pretty solid. Okay, Scorch is the vein of my existence right now. A lot of people kind of get the feel that she's a little overpowered, which, and you'll see. We're going to get into her. Here's who she is. Scorch. Mystery. Mystery lady. It's pretty cool. Her ability is probably the coolest one out of all of them, I would say. And all of them have really cool abilities, but the reason why Overheat catches my attention lately right now is they are, and I'll give you this caveat, when you pair Scorch with Lancer and you guys work as a team, that is one of the most dangerous teams I've encountered so far in the game. Running it like an SLC shotgun if you like shotguns, but Overheat ability. For a period of time, your firearms and melee attacks will set enemies on fire, dealing damage over time, and that right there is dangerous, absolutely dangerous. Reason being, whether you're running with a second person on your team and flanking the enemy, you will team shoot the crap out of anybody, and you get that ability fairly quickly from what it seems like. I don't know what's going on, but someone's cracked the code on Scorch. Fireproof, passive, immune to fire, which makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, Scorch, Overheat, all this stuff. So what I like to remind my team, or remind myself, is if the enemy team has a Scorch, one, you're gonna get hit with flank super hard so far, in the game's still early, and you're gonna be facing most likely the SLC. Let's get into the combat load. Two primaries. I actually like this shotgun when using Anvil, so that's pretty solid. You get kind of a reload time boost, which is great. Hip fire, obviously, that's pretty solid if you're using shotguns. I like this shotgun if I'm going with it. And then range boost. May need it, may not need it, depends on the enemy team or how your team's moving. SLC. This is going to be probably a favorite so far when I'm speculating. I see that a lot, and you rain down fire pretty hard. I think in the mag size is kind of why the shotgun is difficult for most people, so keep that in mind. SLC again, mag size, even base or tier 1 is pretty solid. Increased hip fire, probably not entirely necessary if you're sweeping and clearing kind of thing. Suppressing fire, suppresses fire and reduces. Again, I like to kind of default to maxing out a primary as quickly as possible. But I will say this: their A3 Salvo is a pretty interesting pistol, a little sidearm, and the reason why is I think the fire rate is kind of interesting. It's not as awesome to me as the Spitfire, but being kind of like a burst fire pistol, it does help a lot, and you pair that with an SLC, you do pretty right. Rosie, that's kind of an interesting prosthetic arm, and honestly, I don't know if you can throw it. I really kind of want to find that out today or someday. And if you're one of those who main Scorch, or you play Scorch quite often with friends or whatnot, give me some feedback on it. I would be interested to see if you can chuck your arm at people. I don't know. It'd be funny, but I don't know. I usually kind of steer away from melee so far. I'm still kind of getting used to that concept on this game, but I could see that being fairly devious to use. Incendiary Grenade, I mean, you're already using fire, and then going back to her Overheat ability, why not? I mean, why not? I don't see a lot of people using EMPs too much lately, but what is kind of interesting that I tend to forget, I'll be honest with you, I tend to forget that it prevents targets from using their abilities. So, that being said, that might be really good, especially if you have an enemy team that has Saint or Dallas. you know, with his ability, kind of keep them kind of back in the field and not being able to use their stuff. So that makes a lot of sense to me now. Berserker, I'd get this. Out of all of them, I would probably get that right off the bat. Seeing if I imagine you're flanking or pushing or something. Evade, yeah, why not? You know, being able to kind of bounce out of trouble, why not? Tenacity. Now, reduce damage from explosives, sure, but what I would like to remind you is she's immune to fire, and some people, if they're not paying attention, they're going to use incendiary grenades, which is a horrible thing to do. If you know there's a Scorch on the team, I'd probably use EMP grenades. I wish I would have said that earlier in a couple of them, but it happens. Nimble Hands is probably also another first perk I would like to try to get, just because being able to switch and swap and reload faster is a game changer. Headstrong, I usually use that for a tank or anything else, but as far as Scorch, if you can kind of be a little more tanky while you're pushing on people, you might have an advantage. Replenish. For Scorch, personally, what I've seen and the way I've been kind of attacked with people doing it, I see this very viable. So just about any perk, I think all her perks work really, really well for her. From what I've seen people play, I don't see too many people using a shotgun, but that's just mean. It's just absolutely mean. If you're doing that, then you've got a special place with Scorch in your heart. But that's Scorch. Not too much that I can say. She feels OP from what I've gathered. I mean, she can ruin an entire team so far if played right, especially with that overheat, and using the SLC is pretty dangerous. So always good to have a Scorch on your team. A good Scorch, right? Can change the tone of the game and really kind of disrupt the enemy team. So that's my thoughts on Scorch so far. I'll probably try to get some more time with her and kind of fill out some things. And maybe, who knows, maybe I'll start using melees a little bit more. But no guarantee on that. Alright, that's it I got for Scorch. Let's see, next up is going to be Talon. That'll be interesting. Alright, I'll be back.